So, it's a philosophical Wednesday, unusual, but it's not Wednesday today. Sorry, yesterday I was busy with the stuff. And what I want to talk about you, it's not the new topic. I already have a couple of talks about it. So, today we will talk about sovereignty. Sovereignty and decentralization, because a lot of crypto bros and blockchain adapters they say that the decentralization is the key of everything. And right now we have the huge movement to have the decentralized AI, and we're talking about the decentralizing for the agents and decentralized machine learning. So looks like the decentralization it's the remedy for everything. It will cure all our problems that we have. But what actually decentralization mean? It's mean that you don't have the central authority that actually own or take the decision or control the compute, control the data. And we understand the decentralization wrongly, on my humble opinion. Because, it's really the question of the focus of control or locus of control, because to be honest, if you have decentralized solution or distributed solution, but the control of the nodes still less or more in a same company like Ethereum, or decision on the network are taken by closed group of people, you do not win much. And we should really understand the difference between the decentralization, distributed systems, and sovereignty. Because distributed systems are more the solution of the technical problem that you have something that could not be fitted on the single computer anymore. And we quite distributed as a humans right now, because everybody have the multiple devices and everybody wants to have the ability to have the access from the multiple devices. But for this maybe we don't need distributed system. For this we maybe could work with the central server on one machine, but have the access to this machine from the multiple places. But still, decentralization, it's a small piece that gives us the possibility to be sovereign. And you as a user on practice do not really care if the solution are centralized or decentralized, or do we have somebody that control it, except one small case. I want to control my compute and data. It's the main marker of the sovereignty, that I could act on my behalf. I could have the agents that could act on my behalf. I have the sovereign rights to control my data, have access to my data, have the persistence of my data. Be aware who actually have the access to them, and I'm aware how they used. And decentralization could be the implementation detail of this solution that help me to be sovereign. And that's it. So we don't need the decentralization of blockchains. We need the sovereignty, where we have the ability to act on our own without the mediators or some big companies that speak on behalf of us. And that's it, and that's quite a simple idea. But decentralization, it's a good feature, because it's guarantee us that even if the big player go out of the game, the infrastructure that we rely on will be operating. And for me, the main benefit of the decentralizations are the protocols. So that you don't have the apps, you have the protocols, and you have the freedom to choose between the different providers that work on the same protocol. But to make this dream happen, first of all, we need to separate the application from the data. We need to have the data and application level protocols, and we need to have the multiple providers that offer these solutions on top of this protocol. So as you see, it's a multiple layers, and it's a multiple things to happen to make this dream true. Because if we have the separation, if we have the protocol, but we have only one guy that actually implement this protocol, it doesn't really matter because you still have no choice. So the sovereignty actually should give you the choices. Yeah, that you're able to choose from something, and if you don't like one provider, you switch the provider, but everything else still operating. And majority of the users, they don't care. Is it decentralized solution? Is it the blockchain or whatever? They don't really care, but they really should care about the sovereignty, that they really under the control of something that they have. And to be honest, I don't care if it's stored in the cloud or it's running on my bare metal somewhere in the basement, as far as I have the guarantees that I have the access to it, that that I am aware who have the access to it together with me, what will happen with this data and all other things. So that is still, they still stay in a locus of my control, and then I could say that it's even the cloud solution in this case looks local. Yeah, for sure. It's nice if you have all the pieces open sourced, if you have all the pieces self-hostable and all other stuff. But maybe it makes sense for guys that technically heavy like me. But if you take the average user on the street, probably not, because it will not help you that your solution is open source if you have no ability to change it yourself, or if it will not help you that you could host the node if you need to buy super expensive infra with some GPUs and all of things. The open source for the sovereignty, it's important because it's give the audit, and it's give the people possibility to make sure that you don't do anything harmful. But yeah, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we don't need decentralization. We need the sovereignty, because sovereignty gives you the ability to have your own voice and have the control on your data and your compute. And it doesn't really matter is it decentralized or not. And same apply to the agents. We don't need decentralized agents. Simply, we don't. But we need the sovereign agents, that I could control what this agent is doing with my data, what this agent could do with my money, and actually have the control to understand his decisions and potentially roll back them if something go wild. And that's the main benefit of the sovereignty, that I have the control on these little guys that could help me to make my life easier, or they able to make this life miserable if something goes wrong. And it's all about better control under this technology, and sovereignty actually is the way to go forward.